And we're back. I'm recording this right after the last one, so hopefully my voice doesn't give out on me. I hold true to my promise of honoring Rin's request even if it's against my own will. I try to redirect my focus into my studies, but end up zoning out during classes and only doing the minimum amount of work required. Still, I start looking into my post-high school options a bit more seriously. I pore over university brochures and various career paths. I'm good at studying, so I want to go to a university. I'm pretty sure I could get into a pretty decent one, too. The only problem is deciding which subject would be the best. Kenji ridicules me about subjecting myself to the control of feminism. Feminist teachers, when I tell him about trying to get into a university, I don't ask him about what he wants to do in the future. I wonder what Rin thinks about her own future. I bet she's not as lost as I am, and if she is, it's probably in some completely different way. I feel somewhat disappointed in finding out that I can't stop thinking about her. Her request makes me worry about her and think about her more than I did when I could go and see her when I wanted. It bothers me that I can't. As expected, I eventually crack. Late one afternoon, I get on the bus heading downtown. I try to avoid explaining to myself exactly why I'm doing this. I keep thinking about other things for the entire duration of the trip. After a 5-minute walk, I'm standing in front of the gallery. I walk past the door of the atelier, but at the last moment I lose my courage and continue on all the way to the next corner, which one and turn back. Will Rin hate me if I go to see her? I wonder what she's like when she's angry. I've never seen her angry. The worst thing would be if I actually ruined something by going to see her, like she seemed to imply would happen, but there's no way that can be true, can there? It's just one of her quirks. I walk back down the street and end up passing the atelier door for the second time. Only this time, as I continue all the way to the gallery, the owner is standing just outside the door watching me. I thought it was you. What are you doing? I really don't want to explain my circumstances between Rin and I, so I get flustered and end up mumbling something unclear. She takes stock of me and then sighs deeply, looking wryly amused somehow. I hope she didn't misunderstand. Would you like to come in? Your teacher's visiting. We were discussing Rin's exhibition. Thanks for the invitation, but I really should. Don't be shy now. Come on in. I follow Sai inside, finding that our art teacher indeed is there. Nomi is standing at the big desk contemplating what looks like an invitation card. Look what the cat dragged in. Nakai, hello there, my boy. He doesn't seem to be at all fazed by my appearance. How do you like the invitations? What? Oh, I guess it's nice. I glance at them quickly. They're kind of fancy, with one of Rin's paintings printed on the front cover in shiny gold writing. They look fine to me. They're magnificent. I absolutely love the design and the embossed gold lettering. Fabulous. Good print work, too. You have to tell me where you got these done. What does Rin think? I haven't asked. She said she'd be fine with my decision anyway. Nomiya laughs boisterously, still turning the gold letter card in his hand. That's my girl. She wants to focus on the essentials only. Good for her. Her work is progressing well, too. It seems she's found more new inspiration. I think she's been sort of weird lately. It's like she's wrestling with something with herself, probably, and it makes her confused. She said she had a hard time painting the last time I saw her. Seems to be resolved now, however. You know she practically lives up there now, right? Sai makes a simple gesture with her hand as if sweeping my question aside. Sure. Don't you think that's weird? Maybe it is. Still, I think she understands how big an opportunity this is and is going for it full throttle. Is it really that big? Nomiya sets the card down and brushes some imaginary dust off his jacket. Well, how should I put it? There are times in everyone's lives where something really big washes over you and changes you forever. This could be just that moment for Tezuka. I see. Yeah, I think I've had something like that happen to me. Referring to the incident that brought me to Yamaku, neither of the two adults comment on that, however. Might be that everyone has, or will at any rate. Surrendering oneself to art is a big decision, and a thorny path too, quite thorny indeed. Tezuka's almost everything one needs, but whether she has the will to pull through, that's a different question. I should know that best. I tried going down this path too, but turned away in the end. I don't understand what he's trying to say. Ooh. Ooh. I would probably say this one. Is that why you're being so supportive of Rin? Because you know it's hard? Sai answers me instead of the art teacher. Maybe partially. Does it bother you? Well, no, I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. I just don't get it. Like the Atelier, it's an amazing place, but it's not been used in who knows how long, and now that Rin came. 17 years and 4 months. I raise my eyes to meet Sai's. A calm, calculated stare, not unlike Rin's own, is fixed upon me. Nomi's usual smile has suddenly died too. Feels like the air pressure in the gallery has suddenly dropped along with the temperature. That is how long it's been since someone worked there. Oh. I guess there's a story to everything. Sai crosses her arms in a quiet sigh and leans against the table. The Atelier belonged to my husband. He was an artist too. He lived up there. Well, we both lived up there for some time after we got married. We actually met through him, as a matter of fact. Well, that was Nomi saying that, my bad. That's right, anyway. We were young and foolish, or at least I was. We were studying art at the same school, art history for me, painting for him. And as he just said, this is about the time I met your teacher. Anyway, I fell madly in love with this person, or maybe with his art. He was brilliant. His genius just shone so brightly whenever he put a brush to canvas. Her voice takes on almost reverent sort of tone as she reminisces about her husband. I look at her hands and notice that she's not wearing a wedding band, and on top of that she keeps sneaking into past tense. He really was the kind of artist who would make history books, one with a direct line to God. That's what I thought, anyway. Silly, isn't it? I think we all knew that he was something else back then, even the teachers. That was genius. Well, I'd say it consumed him. That genius, well, I'd say it consumed him. Everything, absolutely everything was second art. Be it social life, getting a job, or even me. It just wasn't as important. It seems that artists can't look at their work as just a job, you know? It's something more fundamental to them. It was hard to live with a person like that, hard to be married to a person like that. She takes a pause and looks to see if I understand. I guess the point of this story hasn't emerged yet, or I've missed it. So how did you cope with it? My question, probably the exact one she was waiting for, draws a dry chuckle out of her. However I could. Sometimes it was hard, sometimes I fooled myself into believing he would change. I pursued my own things too, so it was easy just to let him be. It's not like you can stop an artist from painting if he wants to paint. Plus, being with an artist is fascinating. I can't say that I hated it. Art schools are full of all sorts of posers and pretentious smucks, but true artists are lovely people in general. I think that's why your teacher has taken such a shine to our little kitten. She really has the markings of an artist, and a good one at that. She wants to paint. She must paint. Quite so. She's the best student I've ever had. It's just about her finding her own way now. Maybe that's why I wanted to give her this chance. If she goes to an art school, it'll be good for her. Artistic expression is about finding one's own place to be, your own limits, and then working with that, to expand them, to break them, whatever works best, but you have to know the limits of what you can do. Anyway, long story short, my husband was a person without these kinds of limits, and a unique, I feel like that should just be a unique individual, but a human being can't endure a thing like that. He died young. After he was gone, I couldn't stand the Atelier anymore and tried to forget about it. That kind of thing happens. So you could say that his flame was bright but brief. The story comes to an abrupt end, but it doesn't seem like she's going to go any further. Nomi toys the invitation cards lying on the table as if doing something just for the sake of doing it. But what if Rin is like your husband too? What if she's a person who has unlimited potential? Sai's hand twitches and I see once more that sad look welling up in her eyes. It's the look she gets when she watches Rin. The look by which she remembers her husband. I doubt it. Sai stands up and digs in the pocket of her jacket for a cigarette and a lighter. Her hands are shaking. I'm going out for a smoke. Wordlessly, Nomi and I both decide to follow her after a moment. It's already dark outside. Sai is standing with her back to us, taking a sharp occasional drag on her cigarette. Its weak amber glow illuminates her face, framing her sharp jawline. Maybe it's best to call it a night. I can give you a lift back to school if you want, Nakai. You're not going anywhere, Shinichi. I need a drink. We're going to that place at the corner. The teacher looks at the old lady and then shrugs at me apologetically. It's no problem. I'll just catch the bus back. I'm heading upstairs to see Rin, if Rin will come back to school with me anyway. I think she's been staying overnight here too often lately. Sai locks the front door of the gallery and links arms with the old art teacher. I feel strange looking at them. Wonder what it feels like to have friends who've been with you for decades, for most of your life. I can't imagine it. The two of them start making their way down the street towards the bar in the corner, so I quickly head upstairs to the Atelier door, ready to get what I originally came for. I climb upstairs and enter carefully. The room is dark because of the quickly falling light, but I can see Rin, or rather her silhouette, sitting on the floor. So she's got her inspiration back like Sai said and moved from easel to a painting on the floor. Before I managed 5 steps, I stopped, frozen in my tracks. The ironic realization that human cognitive ability is commendable echoes through my mind. For a mere movement of her shadow, it took me a fraction of a second to realize something is awry. Process what I'm seeing, formulate the answer, and blush all the way up to the tip of my ears. Ren is sitting on the floor with her legs under her. She moves in rhythmical motions back and forth, slowly grinding herself against herself. That sounds weird. Her breathing is so heavy it's almost visible in the dim light. It's the heavy panting of the one who doesn't have an option of breathing gracefully. Her hips, mere shadows against the dim light shining on her from above, are swinging circularly over and over. She hasn't noticed me, so engrossed she is in her activity. The deadlock solves itself before I get a chance to think what to do next. Something in the atmosphere of the room changes as a little thing, not consciously noticeable, but it changes. Perhaps a timid current from the open door, a minute change in the air pressure, the sound of my breathing even though I notice I haven't taken a breath for many, many seconds, the aura of my presence. That something catches Rin's senses. She stops moving, freezes, and slowly turns to the door. I imagine, not see, the horror on her face like a fawn's eyes staring at a hunter. I wonder if Rin can see my expression, but at least she doesn't have the strength or the spirit to look straight into my eyes. So she droops her chin against her chest, letting her mess of a hair hide her face from me even further. I feel like I should either walk out or walk to her, but I can't do either. I told you to stay away. Her words are defeated, painful, as if she was suffering. Rin doesn't have anything else than her shirt on. I can see the last wisps of the twilight against the pale skin of her thighs and bottom. There's no way I can back off anymore. I lost that chance, so I do the next best thing. I quickly avert my gaze, even though Rin doesn't see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I didn't think. It's not like that. Her voice is raspy, shivering from held-back tears or something else. She's shaking, looking like she's physically in pain. It's not like that, oh no! Oh, come on. Ugh, I had no idea what it really means to change, but I know now you have no idea. Okay, good, it's not that long. Know what I've had to do and all the things I passed through. And I think I forget, I really don't. They just build up inside and grow and grow and grow until they flow out like a flow of everything that has ever been wrong. I can't take it. I can't think of the things I want because there's only so much that I can think of. That I can think 4, 6, 7 doesn't matter. Wait, what? That I can think 4, 6, 7 doesn't matter. Well, I don't know what that means. It's never enough. I have to let this out. I have to destroy. Forget it. Nothing else. Rin is mumbling her words into the air more than talking to me. It is the rambling, ranting, raving speech of a lunatic, even and steady in tone, but taking the form of a never-ending stream of words that almost simultaneously spawning from between her lips. Feels like she forgot it is me who is present, or that someone actually is present. Maybe she vaguely recognizes what is real and what is not. Maybe in her mind I am the voice inside her head. I look down at Rin's sorry figure cowering on the floor with only the white shirt of her usual attire on. Neither preserves her modesty that is gone, nor her body warmth that she doesn't seem to care about. She looks more broken than I imagined a human person being capable of, and the hospital and school have given me some real perspective on that. I remember the hazy blue smoke and myself wondering what Rin would do for the sake of art. The realization that Rin really is always serious hits me with its entire weight. She really and truly would destroy herself if her art required it. I thought she was so silly with her strange ways talking about personal change as if it was something sudden and concrete like waking up. I had no idea. This is her laid bare in front of my eyes in all possible meanings of the word. Complete isolation here in the top floor of this building, in this room, in her mind. Day after day working on her paintings with no heed paid to anything else. Breaking herself to reach that which she wishes to reach. This obscene act that she does for reasons I'm not sure she herself understands. Why does she have to do this? I'm trying to connect the pieces, but I don't understand. I feel sad, scared, excited, disgusted, worried, and a number of emotions I can't remember the name of now. I feel conflicted. I should go. I'm really sorry. It doesn't matter. My voice is dry and quiet like sandpaper coming out of my throat. I really am sorry for seeing this. I don't want to see Rin like this. All I can see is her sadness, her stress and despair. Is this what a limit means? How could Sai and Nomiya let Rin go this far, or is it me who's to blame? I almost walk out right there, but at the last moment I turn around, steel myself, and walk to Rin and crouch down behind her and lightly touch her forehead. She doesn't resist or react. I can't leave her like this, she's not well. She feels like she has a fever, freezing cold and burning hot at the same time. Wonder if she got sick from staying out all night with me back then. It seems she's prone to getting ill. There's a blanket on the couch, but I wrap my arms around Rin instead of fetching it. She does not resist my clumsy hug, only slumps her head lower, deepening the shadows hiding her face from me. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm not embracing her out of love, nor out of forgiveness, for am I in love, or is she sorry? I just want to hug her. For a moment, the only sound in the room is her heavy breathing. My body warmth shared between two people is barely enough, but slowly, painfully slowly, it spreads from me to her. The small warmth returning to Rin makes me feel more conscious of her body against mine. Even in the darkness, I can feel the fleeting scent of Rin's hair, the sweat on her skin, the dried paint stuck in her shirt. I feel the hardness of her bones on the softness of her, and the softness of her flesh. Her heartbeats echoing mine, out of rhythm, just like always. The hot blood rushing inside me reminds me why I said what I said back then, why I came here even after that, why I'm here tonight again. Why am I hugging her now to keep her safe against the cold and the sadness? Rin has really grown on me inside my heart, claiming a small part of it as her own without even particularly trying. Rin. Even she wanted to push me away, I can't help this feeling. Are you alright, Rin? I'm not. I think I broke. I painted some really good things, incredible. But it hurt me, I can't handle this. Her voice cuts out as there are no more words for her to say. It's not an angry voice nor a sad voice. It is a lifeless voice. I pet her head and shoulders, the physical equivalent of saying, there. It's not like I could reassure her with the sweet nothings that people are supposed to say in this kind of situation. I'm not sure if she would even listen or be reassured. She didn't react much to my embrace either, as if she didn't care. Maybe she doesn't. At least she doesn't care if she looks sad or not. There are no facades, no attempts to explain herself, no faux happiness. Rin is honest. What is it? You're my friend, right? Right. Will you do me a favor? I can't fix this, but I'm not finished yet. Her dry voice is a mere whisper, but the strength her last is in it, delivering her meaning much more clearly than her words. I can feel Rin's heart beating against my chest like a scared little bird. Her entire body is shivering from her fear, from her despair. My brain is fast becoming overloaded with the myriad of thoughts this encounter spawned, but I have to push them all aside. I snuggle my nose against her earlobe, which is soft and cold, and her hair, which smells good and tickles me. Alright, I'll do it. I whisper to her reassuringly, trying to make her calm down. It works at least halfway as Rin closes her eyes and leans against me as if searching comfort from my warmth. This is not something that friends should do. We can't be friends anymore? It's fine, don't worry about it, just relax. Even though I said that, I'm on the verge of breaking myself. If I wasn't so nervous, I would laugh at my own nervousness. She wants to be comforted, and I want to comfort her. But in this way, I move my hand lower, touching the naked skin of her stomach, caressing Rin with my hand. Hold on a second. Okay. Her muscles contract timidly, evading my touch, but soon they find their trust in me and relax. Okay, thank you. Thank you, whatever the heck you are. I don't know what that is. It looks like some sort of mouse. Okay, I can't tell if anything happened, or if that was just there for some reason. Rin gasps for breath like she's drowning, returning to reality because she has no other choice. Her entire body is still in the throes of the slowly dying moment. Pearls of sweat are glistening on her forehead. I am feeling my own heat inside me, but now the spur of the moment is gone, and I don't know what to say to Rin, who is panting, hot and ecstatic in my arms. Her shirt wet with sweat is glued to her back, revealing hints of her shoulder blades and waistline. She feels limp, weak, and exhausted. I reach out for the blankets and wrap it around her and me. Rin doesn't resist me, she is drained of all strength. What will happen now? I don't know, nothing I suppose. You look tired. I am tired. It feels strange, like I lost something. I mean something else other than my marital purity. Okay, I guess that was for something. Don't say something like that. Neither of those things. I don't want to lose you. What does that mean? I'm not going anywhere. I'm afraid that you are all the time. In that moment, I felt like it was not only Rin who lost something of hers, I felt like I was losing a part of myself, or maybe all of me. But if you were to ask what it was that I lost, I couldn't say because I had already forgotten it. I broke another promise by coming out with my honest feelings to Rin. That's 2 in one day. I hate the distance between you and me, so every time it gets a little bit closer, I become afraid of losing it. That's weird. I guess so. You mind if I sleep a little? No, I guess you don't. You like watching, don't you? She closes her eyes and swallows with a loud gulp, trying to relax herself, fighting against the urge to paint. Yes, I do. Rin moves her body in my arms, searching for a comfortable position in our very uncomfortable position. She leans against me, closing her eyes, and lets one last long breath out before settling into the steady rhythm of sleep. With her last moment of awareness, she whispers something to me, but I can't hear it. Rin drifts deeper into sleep with a deep sigh that releases all remaining tension from her muscles. I try to shift around to place both of us more comfortably. It takes a while because I don't want to wake Rin up, even though she probably wouldn't, but eventually I find a position I am somewhat comfortable with. I lean against the soft cushions of the couch and breathe in the cool air of the atelier. Rin's head rests against my chest as if she was listening to my heartbeats. Echoes of her dream ripples as small twitches on her face, like a cat sleeping in the mouse hunter's dream. A full moon shining her pale light upon us from beyond the skylight reflects from a blank canvas standing forgotten on the easel. Its whiteness is growing against the dark night of the atelier. I don't know, just everything that's been going on in this and the last video has been like kind of very melancholy. I forgot to take a drink during that 1 second. Alrighty. Through the grogginess of a freshly awakened mind, I can observe my surroundings only one thing at a time. The morning light shining from the skylight is bright and sky-colored. It reflects from the white walls and the colorful posters and paintings. I hope nobody at school realized I spent the night here. They didn't find out the last time, so I'm feeling confident about my chances. My neck is stiff and my shoulders are hurting like hell from sleeping in an awkward position like that. I can't even remember when I fell asleep, only the full moon and Rin warm against me. I can't remember her waking up either or leaving my side, however she has. Rin is standing in the middle of the atelier, looking as if she was lost. She's not looking at anything I can see, not doing anything, just standing there. She's managed to dress up a little by herself, a strange thing. I thought that at least would have been impossible without hands. I get up and walk to her, patting her on the shoulder to get her attention. Hey. She flinches at the contact. I've never seen Rin flinch. She looks a bit panicky, a bit anxious, a bit defensive. It's as if she was a completely different person last night. Perhaps she was. My heart drops straight down to my stomach, full of liquid nitrogen. I'm sort of sorry. Why sorry? It wasn't very tactful of me, last night. Isn't that sort of thing something you want because you like me? So blunt. I'm completely baffled by Rin's approach to this. No, even if it was, I think I'd prefer for things to go properly. Rin cocks her head, looking like she has no idea what I'm talking about. She still has this guarded feel about her, but nothing belies any real emotion. So you don't want to do that sort of things? I didn't say that. So you do. I didn't say that either. Listen, it doesn't even matter. I just don't think it was the best thing I could have done in that situation, and I tried to apologize. I wonder for whose benefit I'm trying to come clear with these feelings. I don't even know why I'm feeling so terribly guilty. Maybe I don't think it was a very good idea, probably. It's like you said, we were not like that. We were friends. It was a bad idea. Maybe you should forget about it, and I will too. I'm really good at forgetting things, so it should be alright with me. I can't do that. Why? Because I like you, that's why. I told you that you shouldn't talk about that. I don't agree, besides you brought it up yourself before. I hold my hand up and pinch the bridge of my nose in frustration. I have no idea how to get Rin to understand. I hate that Rin can't clearly tell what she feels about anything. I hate that she's sending these confusing signals as if she's expecting me to read her mind. Do you hate me? She actually thinks about this for some time. I don't hate anything. I don't think I'm a hateful person. Then what am I to you? Help me understand. I try to sound as reasonable as I can, but I don't know if it will help. Rationally thinking this is the only way to get her to understand my point of view. Problem is, rationality never was a thing for Rin. It doesn't restrict her like it restricts me. It's not her driving force. It doesn't make her behave like a normal person. I can't. The same answer. I feel so powerless. I feel frustrated. Why? I don't think you'd understand. I'm not sure if I do. Whoops. I'm not sure which one to go with here. I need to understand why. I'm not gonna give up, Rin's shoulders slump and she frowns. I know. I do want to be there for you, but I can't do that unless I know how. Just let me do things the way I want, that's all. Fine, I don't care. What? You want it to change? You want to destroy yourself? You want this exhibition more than anything, right? Yes. Okay, then do it. She doesn't respond or even show acknowledgement of understanding. I'm grinding my teeth together, frustrated beyond anything Whoops, hit my headset again. I want to grab Rin's shoulders and shake her until she comes to her senses. I look at her, and in that moment I know with crystal clear certainty that there is nothing I can do for Rin. None of the words I know would reach her, but still. I think that for whatever reason you think it's important that you go this way all the way to the end, even if it's not healthy for you on many different levels. But I'll have nothing to do with it. I can't accept being treated like this and not understanding the reasons for it. I'm finished here. The full weight of what I said sinks into the sound distance between us. Rin doesn't show any reaction or even blinks her eyes. She just stares at or through me quietly. That's fine. Her voice is perfectly calm and motionless, like an announcement that the 7:30 train will be 7 minutes late. With those words, Rin made her choice, and I made mine. If either of us secretly wanted to change our mind, it's too late for that. I take a hard, long look at Rin, hoping it conveys my feelings. Without knowing whether it does or not, I leave the atelier for the last time, feeling empty and anxious like so many times before. I made an accident. Whoops. Whoopsie doodles. You know, maybe it'll buff out. Maybe I make it in time for class, though not in time for breakfast. The classroom is bathing in the gentle light of the sun. This means it's going to be an intolerably hot in the afternoon. For now, though, it's pleasant. I look at Misha and Shizune's animated discussion about whatever, Hanako staring out of the classroom window, Muto stumbling into the classroom 4 minutes late, and with no recollection of what he's supposed to be teaching today. I can never imagine dropping out of school just like that, even if it's only for a few weeks. On the other hand, Rin doesn't seem to have a problem with the idea or going through with it. And again, somehow I got caught along in her insane isolation, even if we ended up hurting each other. Or did we? Maybe only I got hurt. It takes me until late in the afternoon to realize that today is Monday. The art club meets today. Not just that, due to the exams, this will be the last art club meeting before summer vacation. Without Rin, it feels pretty pointless to go there, but I want to talk with the teacher. Meeting itself isn't noteworthy, just as my skills with watercolors are not worth mentioning. Nomiya tries to encourage and advise me without sounding too condescending, but he's not doing a very good job of it. If nothing else, joining the art club has taught me that I like art. It would be nice if I could actually try and make some art in the art club, though. After the fruits of everyone's labor have been piled into a neat stack on the teacher's desk, he clears his throat to give a little speech. Now that's it for this trimester, everyone. His voice is pretty loud and way too enthusiastic for it to be genuine. Next meeting is after summer vacations on the Monday of the first week of the next term. I hope to see everyone there again. Have a nice vacation. Everyone wishes him a nice vacation back as they file out the door. I stay behind, waiting until the two of us are alone. It's almost dinner time, so I don't have to wait long. Nomi is looking through the paintings, some of which are actually pretty nice. Rin might outclass everyone else in the art club, but she isn't the only one with talent. Excuse me, teacher. What is it, Nakai? He raises his eyebrows questioningly, smiling wildly. It's about Rin. Oh, is something wrong with Tezuka? No, nothing's wrong at all. It's A-okay. I hesitate for a split second, not certain on how to say what I want to say, giving Nomiya enough time to start babbling by himself. I saw her a few days ago when I was passing by at Sai's gallery. She said she'd get 1 or 2 more paintings done for the exhibition. I was quite pleased. She's a surprisingly hard worker. I'd always thought she was a bit lazy doing what she wants instead of the assignments. He seems to notice my anxiety and realizes he is digressing, shutting up before finishing the thought. But you had something to talk about. What is it? I don't know. She feels detached from everything, as if she can't think of anything but the exhibition. Well, isn't that good? She's focused on her painting, as she should be. Yeah, but this is different. It's like she's obsessed. I went to see her, and... Have you been bothering her? He cuts in before I finish saying what I meant to say, instantly looking quite irritated. No, I don't think so. I'm just concerned because she stopped coming to school completely. She feels strange, too. Stranger than usual, at the very least. Humbug, this is much more important for her than some lousy math class or physics or whatever. This is exactly why the school is so flexible, to give every student a chance to fulfill themselves. Tezuka's a painter, so she should paint, no? And have an exhibition, that's what artists do. You should be allowed to concentrate on that. Not these other frivolous classes. She should be encouraged. If you think about it, it's really quite obvious. His counter-arguments are not very convincing, but I'm having a hard time trying to make any kind of rebuttal. My grudging silence is interpreted as assent, and Nomiya turns his shuffled stack of turn-in assignments on his desk like a deck of cards. I have to say, while we're talking about Tezuka's exhibition, I'm very excited to see how it turns out. She's still so young, yet has such wonderful skill and style. He's talking to the air to relax the mood that got a bit too negative. I take it that you will be attending? Yeah, I guess so. Well, we'll meet there next. I take that as my cue to leave, and I do, although I'm not happy about it. My message didn't get through, to say the least. Starting to lose my voice a little bit here. I'm not used to talking for an hour straight. The day after that, all the missed opportunities and things I should have said come crashing down on me. There's nothing left to do afterwards but brood. Second day, I begin to feel anxious, start doubting my doubt, and I feel stupid, especially since I can't think about anything else than Rin. Third day, Japanese exam and world history exam. Great. The thing I hate most about her is that she can make me feel this awful even though I should be focusing on entirely different stuff right now. Fourth day, math exam. We have a math exam. It goes how it goes. I don't care. Fifth day, Nomi asks me again if I will attend the exhibition opening. I can't say no to him even though I seriously want to. I just don't want to discuss with him anything written related, so it's better to just take the path of least resistance. On the sixth day, the day before the exhibition opening, I find Rin standing in the hallway in front of my room when I return to the dorms after dinner. What are you doing here? My tone is angrier than I intended. I'm a little disappointed I was unable to restrain myself, but it can't be helped. Rin just stands there like she just happened to coincidentally be standing around here when she has no business being. Where she has no business being. The way she reacts so coolly to everything annoys me now. This is not good. It's been 6 days and the sight of her has me boiling. She hasn't even opened her mouth yet. Finished painting. Shouldn't you be at the gallery preparing? They said no. Guess the gallery owner does that part then, getting the paintings framed, hung on the walls and whatnot. So why are you here? Felt like it. Same old stupid pattern emerges again, me asking questions which she replies with answers that don't answer anything, because it's the only other way we can converse. Apart from me listening to her blabbering about whatever, which isn't really a conversation. Is this a play? Are there some unseen rules that we have unknowingly set ourselves into, dictating the rules of engagement whenever we see each other, inevitably leading to us hurting each other? Her nonchalant answers, accompanied by even more nonchalant shrugs, leave me none the wiser. Guess I should be happy that the exhibition preparations are complete. When I walk into my room, I hear footsteps following me in. I didn't invite her in. I won't ask her to leave. She claims my bed without asking permission, making me wish I had taken the time to make it before I left in the morning. Then stands up again as though she sat on hot coals. I lean against a single corner of my desktop that isn't cluttered with stuff to rest my legs at least a little bit. Rin spends a few moments glancing curiously around my room and makes me realize that she's never seen it before. For a moment she actually looks like she's concentrating, trying to get everything. This must be the eye for detail that makes her an artist. Since the room is small, she quickly runs out of things to look at, but nothing else transpires, allowing the uncomfortable silence to take over the atmosphere. The mood is chilly, to say the least, and both of us are on guard, waiting for the other to make the first move. Of course, Rin could play this game forever, so it has to be me. So, I give up because she'd never try to open conversation, because it seems that she wants to say something, and I want to get it over with. Why else would she be here if she didn't want to talk? I don't know what to say myself. I want to be angry, but I can't bring myself to yell at her or anything. My voice catches her attention and she tries to search for words as well, but it seems that she is not entirely certain as to why she's here either. And so Rin simply takes a few steps to close the distance between us and rises on the tips of her toes to even out the height difference. It was a bad idea. Maybe she'll forget about it and I will too. It's a reflex and almost an afterthought. The words no, yes, and maybe simultaneously surface inside my mind. My hand is between her lips and mine, a wall that I raise to guard against something. Her breath feels warm against my fingers. The scent of her skin lingers about, the mysterious, indescribable sensation that captures me and draws my eyes deep into hers. The look in her eyes is surprise, quizzical as to why the impertinent hand prevented her advances. Her eyes are really big and glistening with moisture and staring right into my own with a soft gaze that I'm having a hard time to match. Rin's half-open mouth makes her look even more confused, although the sensual way her lips are arcing is signaling something completely different. Please? I need you. The words come from her throat as a coarse whisper meant only for me, bypassing her tongue and teeth without giving them any chance to interrupt. They sober me in an instant, and I clumsily flinch backward to get a little bit of distance between us, painfully scraping against my desk in the process. Maybe it's her choice of words, maybe the way she says it, but something in it puts me off. Something's wrong, something is terribly wrong again. Need me for what? All the unpleasant feelings emerge again, and I feel my heartbeat suddenly increasing at least tenfold. Rin's eyes go out of focus and back again as her body relaxes from its tense state, and she stands upright again. I don't think I was thinking about anything. Why do you draw patterns in that dust on your night table? There's a word for that kind of thing, but I can't remember. Her marker almost throws me off track, and I glance over her shoulder at the small table next to my bed, but I can't see anything from this distance. So she needs me for nothing specific? Just happened to come by because she thought I'd be glad to see her after she shut me out, no complaints accepted, for a week? Completely altruistic motives? Felt like it? Bullshit, I can answer myself. Just play mind games with whenever you want. Play mind games with whenever you want. To kiss whenever you want. To ignore whenever you want. To fulfill your whims whenever you want. Is that it? What do you need me for? My voice is sounding very angry again, even to myself. Good. Rin 2 finally catches the mood, and her curious expression changes instantly to something more uncharacteristic. No. She leaves it at that, her eyes restlessly wandering around, searching the room as if the words she tries to find were written in the tapestries in my walls. Then what? I needed to paint. Paint. Of course, that's what artists do. The words reverberate through my being, beating my blood over the piercing whistle of my anger. Don't give me that, Rin. It's not some damn muse of yours for you to play with for the sake of painting. No, I'm not. I am not some medium for whatever you aspire to. I am me. So what if I don't know anything about my future? There's things I want and things I care about. Even I can dream of things other than nightmares. I'm yelling, but I'm way past the point of caring about things like that. Rin looks down at her toes and wiggles them a little melancholically while she takes in my outburst without saying anything to defend herself. Only after I have finished does she try to respond somehow. I can't do anything else, or I can do all sorts of things, but I can't do. It's the only thing I sort of do properly most of the time. I understand completely. Art first, everything else second, or thousandth. What about me? Am I nothing? When I was interested in art, did that make you feel like I was a little interesting for a little while? Tell me, I really want to know. Did you ever think about my perspective, or is it just all you? The words rise like bile in my throat. She looks alarmed and also completely uncomprehending, as if she just doesn't understand what I'm angry about. I can't believe she could be so stupid. I didn't want to. This time it's Rin who interrupts herself in mid-sentence. Don't you understand? I can't. Can't what? You never explain. How am I supposed to understand everything if you never say anything? Why don't you ever talk? Say something. But she doesn't. Venting my anger at her feels satisfying. It feels wrong to take so much satisfaction in it, but I can't stop. Not wanting to face my anger head-on, Rin turns around to steadfastly look out of my window even though there's nothing to look at. The worst of my ire is gone. I shut up as I can't be bothered to keep on yelling at the back of her head, so silence finally returns. I try to discern some hints of her reaction through my adrenaline-distorted vision. My feedback was not the best kind, but I hope Rin got the clue that she can't ignore everything else whenever she feels like it. I'd hate it if she didn't. She never ever listens to anything. She's so unaffected by the world around her. Not this time, it seems. Her body is shaking from holding back tears, but I already know that Rin is not crying. Her indifference made me so furious. Now that it's gone, I'm at a loss, I wonder. Did I go too far? Well, look, Go away. Go away, Hizao. Her voice is tiny and tired as she says this, but I hear the words clear as day. What is there to say anymore? This is my room. The blunt, hollow remark is a fitting conclusion for this unpleasant discussion that became an even more unpleasant and very one-sided yelling match. After a moment of collecting herself, Rin just gives up. I can see it from the way she slumps her shoulders and walks out. Even though she deliberately looks to the other direction, I can see how she's biting the corner of her lips so hard it might start bleeding if she won't stop. As she makes her exit, I realize that she left the door open when she came in, and my yelling must have echoed down the dorm hallways. I sigh. Now that she's gone, I'm left alone with my guilt. As the thumping in my chest slowly subdues, anxiety replaces it. Somehow I feel that none of this would have ever happened if not for me. No matter how infuriating, unbearable, and outrageous Rin is, she is not the Rin I thought I knew. Or Rin that I expected Rin to be. Was it me who caused all this by talking Rin into taking her chances with the exhibition? Am I directly responsible for Rin becoming like she has been for the past weeks? I can't think of any other explanation for her weird behavior than the exhibition and all the things that came along with it. Maybe it was the only way that could have brought us closer, but all it did was separate us further from each other and now beyond the reach of either of us. I banged my head hard against the wall, twice to make sure it hurts. Yay, happy cute tune, that totally fits the situation. Well, I'm pretty sure, I'm now 100% sure that I messed up somewhere along the line. A headache is relentlessly thumping against the back of my head as I push open the door of the 22nd corner. Apart from that, I'm perfectly calm. After venting on Rin all that anger I had bottled inside, it felt like a great weight had been lifted from my heart. Tension that had grasped my mind for the past few weeks faded without leaving even a single shadow behind. In this nearly zen-like state of enlightenment, I realized that perhaps it was a bad idea to yell at her like that. I really meant it, but what good does blowing up like that do? Nothing. I'm not like that. I don't normally yell at people. I don't know why I did yesterday. So I keep feeling guilty about it and wanting to take my words back. Rin is probably upset too, even more than my own behavior. Her reaction shocked me. I've always thought of her as unchanging, detached from her surroundings, so that seeing my yelling get her so upset felt out of place. Wonder if she understands how I feel. In Rin's world, everything seems to be so absolute and subjective, absolutely subjective, as if she was completely unable to see things from other points of view than her own. But ultimately, is anyone able to do it? Maybe objectivity and altruism are just illusions for people who like to think of themselves as compassionate. Just like art is an illusion for people who think reality is merely a veil for something greater. When you stop thinking that the world revolves around you, or start thinking outside of the mythical box, you are just inside another bigger box that you can't escape. Maybe that ultimately makes her like the rest of us. I stepped through the door to find a gallery full of illusioned people. Despite Saya's remarks during my earlier visits, I always thought it was very spacious, but now it's crowded like this, it looks positively cramped. I immediately noticed Saya standing in the middle of the lively discussion, busily chattering with some old gentleman. She's actually pretty tall and kind of cool looking, so she stands out in the crowd. There are a few dozen wine glasses laid on the tables along the brick wall filled with burgundy liquid. A vast majority of the guests are sipping from their own glasses. The socialites and art connoisseurs are mingling happily, exchanging mild opinions about Rin's art, which seems to be a secondary objective of interest for most. I feel a little distance excluded from the other people here. I can't claim even at a stretch to be a social chameleon, so this situation is quite unnerving. Since I don't blend into the crowd at all, I just fake that I do, trying to look as cool and smooth as I can. I wonder how Rin is handling all this. If it was me, I would be quite freaked out. Throwing the anxiety aside, I try to carefully navigate through the crowds, stealing peeks at the framed paintings now hanging on the walls. Rin's exhibition takes about half of the gallery's wall space. Some paintings are less familiar than others, but I recognize most of them. Some I've seen being created at the club meetings after all, or remember from the time when Rin was choosing your portfolio. I know that a couple of the unfinished paintings are framed in on the wall as well. Maybe that's why they're called coincidental art. Even Rin's failures, if you can call them that, became exhibits of her skill. Quite paradoxical. She herself is nowhere to be seen, which is strange because even though it's crowded, the gallery is pretty small. It's fine, sort of. I don't know how to face her after yesterday. Maybe I shouldn't have even come. But I promised various people, Rin included, that I would, so... Damn, it sounds like I do the things I do because some sort of instinctual properness compels me to, not because it would be sensible or not. I sneak closer to Saya to wait for a lull in the conversation so I can chat her up too. Even though her voice is almost completely buried under the general background noise, I hear bits and pieces of her talking about Rin. Yeah, she is a high schooler at a local school, even though she's graduating next year. I'm sure various art schools would be interested in... I thought it'd be interesting to have an exhibition of someone who is still in early stages of development. So strange, it's like Rin is some sort of kind of mini celebrity, even though this is nothing but a small exhibition opening at a small art gallery of a small town. In fact, there's a friend of mine from... This is Ao. My eavesdropping is interrupted by a familiar voice and a familiar slap to the back. I don't need to guess the source of it either, even without turning around. Hi, Emmy. Hi, are you like a representative of the art club or something? I don't see anyone else from the school here. I don't know, really, I guess I am, if that's the case. What about you? What about me? You didn't think I'm interested in art, is that it, Hazao? No, that's not what I... maybe a little, if you put it that way. I mean, even though you hang out with Rin, I've never heard you talk about art with her, so... Emmy huffs and looks around, looking discontented. It's true, I don't get it at all, but she came to my track meet, so I thought it's only fair to return the favor. She leans closer, trying to look confidential, confidential, but only managing to look inspiring. Do you get art? No. No, I don't. At all. My emphasizing head shake draws a giggle and a cheery head shake of her own out of Emmy. Me neither. Hey, let's go talk with Rin. I bet you haven't yet, because I haven't either. Come on. No, thank you. Nope, too late. Before she has a chance to forcibly drag me to Rin, Nomi appears behind her with Rin in his tow. She's not dressed for the occasion, instead opting for the usual school uniform and unkempt hair. Maybe her natural look is what suits her the best. Hello, teacher. Hi, Rin. Unfazed, Emmy greets teacher cheerfully, causing him to turn around and look down confusedly. Who are you? I'm Emmy, from school, class 3-4, don't you remember? She looks positively shocked at the prospect that there could be a person who doesn't know her. Oh, sorry, you're in the same class as Tezuka, is right? Yeah. You'll have to pardon me, I have trouble remembering students who don't take art. Don't mind. Hi, Rin. Hello. Congratulations for your super cool art thing, I'm sure you'll be a big hit. She throws her arms in the air for her boisterous emphasis, almost hitting me in the face. And look, Hazao came too. Rin doesn't look at me, nor does she greet me. Congratulations, Rin. She keeps averting her gaze, pointedly looking at her sandals. Oblivious to the tension between us and ignorant of what happened yesterday, Emmy keeps on blabbering about this and that to an unresponsive Rin. I guess she's used to not getting much out of her at times. Before long, Nomi and Sai return to Rin, introducing her. Expecting it, I catch the second of confusion when the guests see her arms. Sai is luckily on the ball and briefly explains about our school. Doubtful faces quickly change to curious. Would you mind telling us something about your art? Well, the development is quite easily noticeable. What do you think of the differences between the older and more current works? It's quite rare for someone so young to dabble into abstraction. It would have been interesting to see how you work. Oh, definitely, I assume you use your feet. Must have been great trouble to learn it. You should be proud. Will you be pursuing a career as an artist after school? She's bombarded with so many questions she can't even hope to answer all of them. Maybe it's for the best. Rin tends to talk nonsense more than occasionally. So where do you get your ideas? That's the fifth worst. Rin keeps stumbling with her words, looking more and more vexed by the expectant inquiries. Everyone is waiting for her to say something, but she looks like a cat got her tongue. Each question piling up just adds to her distress. I fail to hear the question that is the proverbial one too many. It's like a motor stalling. Rin just freezes for a long second until she falls on her knees, hitting the floor ungracefully like a sack of potatoes. Are you alright? I don't know. Tezuka, what's wrong, girl? I don't know what's wrong. Terrible silence falls upon the people gathering around Rin. Everyone is petrified, not knowing how to react to her sudden seizure or something. She breathes with deep, trembling gasps, as if she was running out of air, staring ahead of herself with hollow eyes. Seeing that nobody does anything, I force myself to step to Rin and lift her up from the floor, letting her lean against me to keep standing. Would you like some fresh air? Okay, let's go outside for a bit. I don't even wait for her to answer before grasping her shoulder and pulling her past the stunned-looking Nomiya, Sai, Emmy, and guests. Excuse us. The cool evening breeze hits my face at the door. I let go of Rin and she leans against the stone wall, trying to catch her breath. Are you alright? I couldn't say anything. Rin is still not looking at me, so I look away too. Streetlights and colored neon signs twist my vision into a blur of near blindness, forcing me to look back. At least she talks, even if she's not directing her words to me. What did you want to say? Maybe both of us can imagine that we were talking to an invisible friend. I don't know. Something that would have meant something. The silence lasts for a long time. I don't feel comfortable being alone with Rin. I am not good at imagining things that don't exist, so do, or that things that exist don't. Okay. We should go back in. The guests I invited are in there. They probably want to meet you and talk with you. You know, ask you questions and stuff about those paintings you worked so hard for. I don't want them to ask me questions like that. I can never say the right things. What do you want, then? That someone wouldn't have to ask questions from me. I didn't even read what the options are. I just stopped it there. I feel like we're getting really close to the end, which is why I'm kind of letting it go, but I think I'm going to end it here. I'm not even going to look at the options. So, yeah, I guess thank you for watching, and goodbye. Next one will probably be the last of Rinzerk. I'm probably not the good end, because I'm I'm not 90% sure, I'm 100% sure I messed up somewhere. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.